show with me and Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Hey, Amy. I have a pop quiz for you.
Okay.
I have a feeling that you love being put on the spot, so I have a question for you.
Sure.
If people want to watch back past shows, or read Becca's Bravo blogs, or even see shows that we've done, about BB Can, where can they find that?
You can go to yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan.
That's such a great answer. Now, wait a minute. We're live right now. Where do people go to watch us live, Amy?
You can go to yourrealityrecaps.com/younow and become a fan.
It's totally free, right?
It is. Doesn't cost anything.
Not even a penny.
Not even a penny.
And you get alerted so times when we go live that way?
Most of the time.
Great. And I'm going to say, if you guys want to become a patron, you can help support our shows too by going to yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get access to patron-only shows, prize giveaways just for patrons, special after shows with the house guests. Remember, jury's getting out soon. You're going to want to be in those after shows. Or you can always do a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal. Yay! Amy!
Eric.
Oh my God, this week in the Big Brother house.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I know that you were a little bit nervous because you were like, I haven't seen the feeds in the past day or two. I've been very busy. Well, Amy, here's what I meant to tell you when you said that. You've only missed suntanning.
I've seen pictures of suntanning.
Just
lots of suntanning.
I mean, I have the details for what else we need to talk about, but basically it was been 24/7 suntanning.
Yeah, I do know it's been a lot of suntanning, which I think is really funny because when they were suntanning, it was only like 43 degrees.
Well, it was 60 here. Like, wouldn't it be warmer there, or does it get colder as you go
No,
north?
no,
colder.
I was definitely checking the temperature there because I was like, okay, it's kind of warm here. What's it like in Toronto?
And
43 degrees.
And now, to be clear, you're saying degrees as in
Fahrenheit.
Our temperature, not crazy Canada numbers.
Yes.
Okay.
It was 7 Celsius.
So wait, say again, 43 you said?
43.
It's like just barely above freezing.
Right.
But I guess if you're sitting in the sun and you're in like that little reflective hole.
Nope, still too cold to be in a bikini.
I want to know what 43 degrees feels like now.
Too cold to be in a bikini.
All right, I'm going to just take your word on it.
I wouldn't be in a bikini even in 60.
Kate says, it's been a nice change from the snow. We have to take it all in here. Well, I'm sure anything is nicer than dealing with that horrible snow. It's Judy says, I checked too. Yes. By the way, don't forget to leave your comments in the chat room because we're looking at them and taking them too. So I want to start off kind of where we left off last, Amy.
Yes.
When we saw the fun competition starting to begin that I didn't even understand.
Where they were standing on the candy with the rope.
They were standing on the candy with the rope, but like literally I went back and watched it and Arissa said, you have to climb to the top and stay there.
Did she actually say to the top?
She said,
I thought she said climb the candy.
She said climb to the top and stay there. Now, I guess she meant like the top knot in the rope because there was like 3 knots.
I don't think they had to go that high.
Well, somebody said, Talbot Tom said she said to the top and stay. Yeah, I know. I rewound it. It was to the top and stay. What I think they're going to have to do is do the lean back thing. Like, I think they have to start at the top rope and then they have to like go down a knot, go down a knot. You know, because otherwise you could just stand there all day. What is the challenge? There's nothing hard about standing there.
Interesting.
I think
why didn't they have them start at the very top then? Because where we saw them on TV was the bottom knot.
Oh, was it the bottom knot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It didn't make any sense to me. I was like,
We're going to find out. I just remembered we have Big Brother at 8? 9.
9.
9. Okay, good. Woo!
9. It's 9 o'clock tonight.
Do you ever recap the challenge? No, but stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Very soon. It might even be really soon. They make it slippery and wet. It looks like they tried to. They put like some ping pong balls out or something. I don't know. We don't know. We're going to find out tonight is the point. But now, again, to be very clear, spoiler alert. There are spoilers on this show. Didn't really seem to matter for one Mr. Johnny who ended up pulling it out. However, Amy, it came down to Johnny and Paris.
Yes, which surprised me a ton.
Do you believe, let's start here. Do you believe Paris when she says, I could have won it? Like I never, because obviously Johnny and Paris made a deal. Johnny agreed not to put Paris up, so Paris drops. Mm-hmm. Do you believe that Paris could have held on and stayed as she's claiming?
I think she could have because she's tiny, and I think that competition favored tiny people, which is why Johnny did well as well also. But I was really surprised that she did well with her whole hyperhidrosis thing, the sweaty hands.
Who keeps saying this whole sweaty hands thing?
She did. She did. Before she even went into the house.
Because I've been seeing a lot of people say that on Twitter, like, Paris is sweaty hands, sweaty hands. So I don't remember that at all. Was that a big thing that she made a big deal about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and in a lot of competitions, it's been a big issue.
Really? Mm-hmm. So she just sweats from her hands?
Yep, it's a real thing.
Why can't they give her like that stuff that they give the gymnasts? You know, like when the gymnasts on the Olympics, and you see them bang their hands like with the chalk, and all the dust comes to make their hands.
Because that would be cheating.
Well, they should. What? That's not cheating. They're just trying to put her on the same level as the non-slippery hand people.
No, because then other people would get to use it too.
Rafe in the chat room says the other day you could see sweat dripping off her hands.
Yeah.
That is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my whole entire life. Sweat pouring off of your hands? I've heard of like having clammy hands, but not like my hands could fill a water glass.
No, like it is a real thing.
Oh, I know it's a real thing. I have it. I have to get Botox under my arms. So I have hyperhidrosis of like armpit. Like I used to get giant sweat stains under my arms until I started getting Botox. So I get it, but most people are normally sweat under their arms. I didn't know that you could like pour sweat out of your hands like they're crying.
Yeah. Well, I see Lori M says her granddaughter has the same problem.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to know what one does for this. Do you go to a dermatologist? Is there some sort of an anti-sweating serum to put on your hands? What if you used Elmer's glue, like when we were kids? Remember when you used to, like, Elmer's glue your hands?
It would just fill up with sweat pockets.
Oh, it would be like little sweat water balloons, but that could be a weapon.
Oh, that might be kind of fun.
That could. She could be like Spider-Man. She could, like, have them, like, starting to fill up and then flick little sweat glue balls at people.
Oh, gosh. That's disgusting.
I really want to throw up right now. I wish I never knew this. Yeah, it is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, do you think Johnny should have won it? So we said, do we believe that Paris could have thrown it or could have won it? Do you think that Johnny should have won it?
I don't think that Johnny really needed to win it.
Neither do I.
I really actually wish that Paris had won it because I would have loved to see her basically blow up her own game, essentially, because that's what she would have done.
Oh, she's so close to doing it this week.
Oh, I know. She absolutely is.
She absolutely is. Well, okay, so let's talk now. Post-eviction, what we are going to see on tonight's show, not eviction, post-HOH, but also post-eviction, the eviction that Johnny should have went home on, that Allie and Liv spearheaded the house flip for, that everybody got on board to save Johnny. I mean, we can make the argument whether Allie and Liv did it or not, but my point is, the whole house flipped around to save Johnny. Johnny wins HOH, takes a 2-beat pause, like 1-2, and then calls the entire house into the HOH room and tries to force them all to reveal their game.
And they absolutely did.
A lot of them did. I was floored.
Everybody was calling everybody out. It was amazing.
Now
Johnny got so much information, and I loved it. I loved it.
In Johnny's defense, this started because he was talking to Kayla. And Kayla claimed to him that everybody was coming, throwing your name under the bus all week. And Johnny was like, well, if that's the case, you better call the people out.
Right.
Or else you're going on the block. Now, I was with Johnny. Up until that point, I was like, oh, cool, Johnny. Like, I'm on board. I agree with you. All of it. However, then he goes and he's the one who rounds up everybody and brings them all into the HOH room. Whether he means to or not, that to me suggests that you're the one behind it if I'm a Will, a Paris, a Liv, an Allie. And he was the one who, anytime there was like the lull in the conversation, it wasn't really Kayla attacking people. Johnny would be like, well, this isn't what we said we were going to do in here. You said you were calling people out. It just really put the emphasis on the fact that it was more Johnny wanting people to reveal their games, I felt, than the way I think he should have played it. This is Kayla's thing. Kayla wants to do this. She's in charge of it. Hate her, not me.
I think that by the end of it, Johnny was able to spin it all.
He was, but I think only because it's Canada.
Well, honestly, I really think that it like throughout the whole thing, people were so angry with each other that they had like knives just kind of throwing at each other that nobody was really looking at Johnny. I wouldn't really say that it really hurt Johnny at all. And he got so much information that I don't really think that it was a bad thing for him to do at all. I don't blame him at all. He had to do something. And
I'm not blaming him for doing it. I just don't love the way he went about it. I feel like for someone that thinks he's such a, evil vampire, devil butterfly, I mean, he doesn't use the word mastermind, but he will say he's like a little evil genius. I just feel like he could have went about it in such a smarter way that didn't make it look like he was forcing everyone's game out of the closet. Because that's what all the side conversations were. Like, when people would leave the room, they would be like, why did we save Johnny for this? He's exposing our game. He's forcing
Allie
it.
was the only person who was saying that.
Will did a little, too, and so did Maddie. I heard Maddie say it. And Paris. Will stormed out of the room in the beginning and was like,
he did, but he came back.
He
came back. And then he's ever since then has been, I'm not putting Johnny on the block.
I agree. Will definitely seems to be 100% Team Johnny, which is shocking to me.
So he's not questioning the fact that why did we save Johnny? Because if he's questioning that, wouldn't he be saying, okay, Johnny's going on the block next week?
Right.
So
I think each one except Allie said it. No, Allie definitely said it. Allie was one of the first
absolutely
people.
Said it.
She was the first person to be like, why did we do this? She even used it in her defense later on in the week, or even as late as last night. She was using it directly to Johnny. So basically, one of the things that Johnny found out was Allie and Liv were working with Derek and Kayla. So do you think that really fractures how Johnny is seeing them now? Like, in how he can work with them going? You do. You think it permanently has hurt that?
I think that what it's done is it's for now. I was going to say for now it's made him pick the William Maddie Paris side
Right.
until the Allie Liv gets broken up. Once basically Allie goes out, then he's going to want to work with Liv. But I think for now he's kind of trying to
play both sides.
But he doesn't really want to work with the four. He doesn't want to be the fifth on a four.
Right. He'd rather be the fourth and a third.
Mm-hmm.
He'd rather be a fourth of three singles. And he's done a good job of getting in with Will, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
So then you say smart move, him putting up Derek and Kayla on the block, which is what he
Absolutely.
did.
Absolutely.
All right, I agree too. I think Derek and Kayla was the smartest move. I think Kayla can't, I don't know, there's nothing sincere. I mean, and I get it's a game, but there's really nothing sincere at all about what Kayla kind of says, game or otherwise, lately. So,
no.
I'm not surprised. Now, what did surprise me was who won POV.
Yes, no. I can't say it really surprised me because it basically plays into what Johnny was saying.
Yes. So who won POV, Amy?
Derek.
Derek won POV.
Derek won POV, and Derek was the target this week.
Correct. Because he is the more physical one, the only one who seems to be able to beat Johnny out in these things. However, much controversy over his win, Amy.
Yes.
Much controversy, as Jan Solo and Della G, I see her saying in the chat room, cheater, cheater. So Derek feeds come back on. And Derek is over there like, I did it. I'm the master. I'm the pro. You can't knock me down. No, I'm the best. And is going on with that spiel for a good hour and a half until it's bedtime. Finally, once bedtime rolls around, he gets down there with Kayla and goes, oh, you want to know the best part of me winning? I won because I cheated off Maddie. So apparently they were allowed to work together if they wanted to, which meant they were allowed to look at other people's answers.
I want to know what this competition was that they could look at other people's answers.
Because he also says he blocked Maddie a lot. So basically, what we know from his retell is he was able to run up some sort of a hill so that he was able to see what Maddie's answers were. But then the thing that I don't understand is then he said he was faster than her so he could run back and get the correct answers and beat her time. But my question is, if her answers are already there, didn't she already beat your time?
No, not if they had to put in the answer on one side and then run back to lock it in.
Oh, so you're saying he's watching what she's locking in, he's locking in the same thing, and then he can beat her in the foot race back to the button for the time. Okay, that makes sense. It sounds like a Survivor puzzle. It had something to do with pictures of all of them. It was like scenes of all of them throughout the season or something. Like them in comps or... Because Derek and Paris were talking in the kitchen. He's like, it was so weird to see those pictures of us. Just makes you realize people are always watching us. Like, you can remember the conversation we were having in this. So I thought it was very weird.
Yeah, I'm going to be really interested to see if they even put in the fact that he was looking at her answers in the show.
It's a good question. It certainly would slant the audience one way or another, depending on how they do it.
Well, I mean, Kayla's already getting the villain edit, so why not her boyfriend?
Exactly. Why not her? So do you think that Kayla's getting the villain edit?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Why don't I remember anything specific? I know a few people have been saying that.
After just any type of minute gloating that they can possibly put in, they're put anything that they can, they possibly put it in there.
The
Like,
evil
yep, the
laughing.
evil laughing. Just, we never should have moved out of the HOH room, and just
Okay.
little things like that. It just making her seem very cocky, and just their little private conversations that we never even really saw on the feeds. They're
Right.
just making sure to put those in the show.
I mean, my biggest problem with them during their week was they didn't do anything to secure their game going forward. I mean, last week, what did they do that was to push their game forward? They didn't make deals with anybody. They holed up in their HOH room.
They did try to make alliances with the entire house, but then the entire house found out that they tried to make alliances with the entire house. So
I think it was just, I mean, here's my thing. If you're going to walk into a room, and maybe this is why alliances are not working this season, you just can't walk up to somebody and go, hey, you want to be an alliance?
right.
And then they go, yeah. And then that's it.
Yeah.
They don't carry on the conversation. I mean, Maddie is one of the only people that kind of does it with her fake alliances of being like, so what are we doing? Who are we putting up? Who do you want to target? Like, nobody acts interested in anything that an actual alliance would be interested in.
No, they don't. Part of it is because none of them even wanted to make alliances to start off the season.
Clearly.
They were all too afraid to make alliances at the beginning of the season, so none of them had any.
Do you think they were too afraid, or this is just how the majority of this house plays the game? They just want to play on a week-to-week self-preservation type of a game?
I think part of it might be because of Ryan, I'll be completely honest.
You think?
With Ryan's HOH week, with him sitting there saying, there's gotta be alliances. And everyone's like, nope, not in any alliances. I don't want to be caught in any alliances.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in an alliance. Nope, not me. And so that just made everybody too afraid to really want to lock anything down.
Right. Interesting. Part of it might be rampant stupidity, says Lisa D. I think so too. I think it could be stupidity as well. I mean, look, I've said this on Twitter, and then somebody called me out and was like, leave it to a Big Brother fan to always find something to complain about. I'm not complaining. I'm just sharing my opinion. And my opinion of this season is kind of this. I always thought I wanted a season where there was not two sides of the house, where there was this power struggle back and forth. I always thought, I don't like it. And now we have that. We have everything is week to week. Nobody really honors anything they say between one week to the next unless it specifically is somehow benefiting them in the moment. They're not going to honor a deal. Just because they told you the week before you were in alliance does not mean they are voting to save you. There just seems to be no real loyalty in the house this season. And I thought it would be interesting, and it's not that interesting. What do you think?
I think that this is almost more of a Survivor style of play as opposed to a Big Brother, where, to steal a term from Survivor, they're almost like voting blocks, where you got couples or trios, and people will just kind of shift around and say, okay, I'll vote with you this week, or I'll vote with you this week. But personally, I don't like a divided house. I don't like it when it's two halves and that's it. I hate it.
So you like this better?
I prefer this. By far. Yeah.
See, I here's why I don't prefer it, and I mean, you're just not articulating it correctly. I know this is also going to sound ridiculous when I say this sentence, but it's because I just feel like I'm watching them all lie. And I know that it's Big Brother and that's the game, but I mean, normally you're lying and manipulating as a strategy to achieve a goal. All I feel like I'm doing is just watching people throw lies at a wall to see what sticks so that you don't put me up this week, and then nothing is going to matter next week. You know what I mean? Like, I'm missing where this, like, I guess I like the gameplay and the strategy of it, and I'm just feeling like I'm not seeing gameplay strategy. I'm just seeing, like, lie, 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 don't put me up, lie, lie, lie. Next thing I'm going to slit your throat.
Yes and no. I mean, you still get some game players, and you've still got people who are absolutely, you absolutely have people who are gaming their butts off in there. And even though, yes, they are absolutely lying left and right, and they will say whatever needs to be said to make sure that they're not going on the block. It's working.
Here's a great example. So we know right now that the replacement, so obviously Derek pulled himself off the block, and Allie is the one who went up as the replacement. Now, the other night on the feeds, not last night, but 2 nights ago, completely out of nowhere and for no reason, Paris goes up to Kayla and goes, Maddie and I will save you. Maddie and I will vote with Derek. We will get out whoever Johnny puts up, because at this point Allie wasn't on the block, but he was like, we're going to go against Johnny. And we're going to flip the house. We're going to send out that person. I want to work. Maddie and I want to work with you to get down to the final 4. It was like, what are you doing? Where did you even, like, what? Why was it even a plan? Like, you were fine. I mean, I guess she's worried about, I mean, her and Kayla did get into a huge screaming match during Johnny's thing. So I could see her, in a way, doing this to protect her game going into the triple. But we, the live feed viewer, know she's not just lying to do it, to get into the triple. She means it and wants to do it. And actually convinced Maddie of it, who was on board. This is why I can't stand Maddie. Yeah.
But so it wasn't a lie.
No, in this case, it wasn't a lie. But the lies have been to Johnny. I'm with you. We're with the 4. We're putting those people out. Like, just the lies were to Johnny to get him not to put her up. Because everybody was telling Johnny what Paris was doing, and he doesn't believe it.
I was going to say, I'll be honest. You've only started complaining about this.
Right.
When the lies are happening to Johnny.
Well, yes. Yes.
You didn't complain about this last week.
No, really? But I would say last week is when it started. And it's
when Johnny was on the block and people were correct. So I think that the only reason it's really bothering you is because it's affecting the person you want to win.
But oh my God, Talbot Tom says, yes, Amy, you're so right. He defends Johnny over all others. Well, let me surprise all of you right here. Johnny isn't who I want to win.
You want Liv to win?
Nope.
No. Who do you want to win? Paris?
Yep. I think Paris is the most deserved. And P.S., I don't like Paris's personality. The person I'm the person I'm mad about them playing the game this way is Paris. I'm mad because I think Paris has such a great game. If she would just stop lying for the sake of lying and like get some real loyalty.
See, but Paris isn't going to own it.
Oh no, she's not going to own it.
She's not going to own it, but she's not going to win. She's not going to win.
No, because she has no loyalty to anybody, and she's going to have a whole pissed off jury.
If she gets to final 2, she'll get second place.
Correct. Because that jury is going to be with people like Allie and Liv and Johnny, who are all going to go, you lied to us, you backstabbed us, you didn't have any loyalty. Like, that's the one, that's where this game makes me, like, why I've been getting frustrated with it. Because
right.
again, there's no strategy for me to see the people that I want to see get to the end of the game, that I want to see win, because all they're doing is just lying for the sake of lying or buying a week.
But no, there is a way for them to get to the end and win. You can't say that there's still plenty of game left. Are you kidding me? Look how many people are left in this game.
But don't you feel like going into a triple in the past, you have known, like, what's going to happen?
No.
You don't feel like you've known what's going to happen?
No. Last year, did we know that the French Connection was going to leave in the triple? No.
Yeah, that's true. And, by the way, got into a fight with Dimitri and Aika right before. Right.
Like, we really have no idea what exactly is going to happen. Johnny, he could leave. Yes, he could not leave. Who knows what's going to happen with this? At this point, anybody could leave at this triple.
Who do you think that everyone in the house puts Johnny up? Do you think No. Who do you think would not put Johnny up?
I think Liv absolutely would not put him up. And I think that number is actually growing daily.
See, now I was with you. I 100% agree with you on Will. I think no way does Will put Johnny up in the triple. Now, I was on board with you with Liv until last night, when Johnny started doing his rounds of calling the people in to talk about noms. He told Liv, I'm putting Allie on the block, but please don't tell her. Let me be the one to tell her. So Liv was like, okay. Liv went right to Allie to tell her, which makes me think Liv does not have that strong of a loyalty to Johnny, because it's not like her not telling Allie that would have hurt her game in any way. Johnny was telling Allie literally she was 2 more people, and then Allie was in the room.
I think Liv had to tell Allie. I don't blame her, because they are each other's number one allies.
I totally agree with you. As soon as I was saying it, I was like, oh, but then that is like not telling your number one ally something you know. And obviously, Liv would prefer Allie stay above anything else because Allie's her number one. Right, that does make sense.
Yeah.
All right, so we're not saying that's a deal breaker of Liz being anti-Johnny. All right.
No. I think that Allie might put Johnny up, but I don't think Liv would.
Della G says, I think she did that to show her loyalty to, I'm going to assume you mean Allie, but I also think she is with Johnny. Yeah. I mean, she has said to the camera yesterday, as recently as yesterday, she did say to the camera, I want to go to Final 2 with Johnny. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
Yeah, I see Talbert's mom is saying that she thinks Maddie is the only one that would not put Johnny up.
You think Maddie is the only one that would not put Johnny up? I don't know. Like, oh my God, part of me can't wait for this freaking triple because I'm ready to see where people actually are landing.
Anything could happen. And honestly, I think that as the week goes on, things are going to shift. And
I mean, Maddie is such a good liar, which is the really scary thing. Like, Maddie didn't even blink when Paris went to her and said, let's go against Johnny. Let's get out whoever is not Kayla, and we'll work with Derek and Kayla. And Maddie was like, yeah, it's a great idea. Like, she didn't even put up a bit of resistance. She didn't go back and tell Johnny. So, I mean, are you doing that because you're trying to protect Paris right now? Are you trying to protect yourself? I don't see how your loyalty is to Johnny if you're not telling him that there is literally a plan to go against the one thing that you know from all your conversations with Johnny that he wants.
I think Maddie...
Intelligence says all the above.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that Maddie probably would want to put up. No, I don't know who Maddie would put up. Yeah, she would definitely have if she would want to work with Derek and Kayla, unless it would just be a short-term thing.
I think she's stupid. She's been on board for wanting to get rid of the most powerful people, and now you're not going to take a shot at Derek and Kayla if
Yeah.
you win?
Yeah, I think it would be stupid for them for anybody to keep Kayla at this point.
Do you okay, well, let's do this because
Mhm.
and again, I have not seen feeds in the past few hours, but there has been something else that transpired this morning. Well, it all started last night. So Derek last night had a little one-on-one chat with Johnny. Not Johnny, with Will.
Hmm.
And apparently, not apparently, I watched it, Derek was throwing Paris under the bus.
I heard about this.
And it made Will super suspicious. So Will went to Johnny
Hmm.
and was like, oh my God, Derek just trashed Paris to me. I don't understand why he's doing it. And then Johnny goes, here's what's interesting. Maddie, out of nowhere, wanted me to put Liv up and not Allie. And he's like, why does it matter who I put up if we're all voting out Kayla? At the end of the day, if it's not Will, Maddie, Paris, why do they care if I'm putting up Allie or Liv as the replacement unless they're not voting out Kayla? So
Right.
Johnny and Will kind of had that conversation, and Maddie then did come into the room, and Will kind of asked her that, and she played it off as like, well, you told me Allie and I couldn't act like I knew it was Allie, so I had to say, like, again, Maddie is such a good liar. Johnny did tell her it was Allie and then told her don't tell anyone, so she got to use that excuse. You told me not to say anyone, so if I can't say Allie, who am I going to say? I got to say Liv. I was like, oh God, you are so smart. Making it
Wow.
like that. But,
Mhm.
then Will this morning goes into like the red room where Paris and Maddie is, and he starts kind of like yelling at them and being like, or not them, but Paris, and was like, you're not gonna flip on this house, right? And screw me, like out of nowhere. Again, because Derek has placed doubt in his mind, and Johnny has placed a little doubt in his mind. So then Will leaves the room. And Paris is complaining to Maddie, and she's like, I don't know why he talks to me like that. I don't know where he's getting this idea that we're going to do it. Derek had to put it in his mind, or Johnny had to put it in his mind, blah, blah. Then Will comes back into the room, and Will's like, turns to Maddie and goes, let me guess. While I was out of this room, Paris was over there going, I don't know where Will came up with this idea. Like, he literally said what Paris was doing.
Wow.
And I thought Paris was going to start a huge fight over that. Paris just kind of like walked out of the room. And she's like, I'm going, blah, blah, blah. Then, like 20 minutes after that, Paris goes up to the camera to talk to all of us and goes, great job, Derek, because you can't keep my name out of your mouth, you just sealed your girlfriend's fate. She's like, deal's off. I am not flipping to save Kayla anymore. You just couldn't control yourself. You couldn't stop talking about me.
Wow.
I'm no longer. And here's the thing. When Paris digs her heels in, we saw it last week, Paris digs her heels in.
She sure does.
She is not going to change her mind.
Nope.
Unless Maddie somehow can convince her. But I doubt it.
Nope. But wow.
I mean,
That's like, okay, so stuff did happen. It wasn't just suntanning.
that was the moment of not suntanning. And then the Will and Derek, like literally, I am not kidding you. They suntanned all day yesterday. It wasn't until like 1.5 hours before bedtime did
Mhm.
Johnny go, okay, I'm ready to talk to people about replacement noms. Literally an hour and a half left. People were still sitting outside. It was like 11:30 at night. It
Wow.
was crazy. I was live doing a hangout show with people here, and we were like, "Oh, Johnny is starting." And I was like, "Whoa, really?" They are Destiny says they are currently keeping Liv, but it will change 5 times before eviction. I don't know. I don't see Paris as someone who changes her mind easily, and
Yeah.
especially if Paris thinks you're going for her.
Oh, absolutely. Well, see, and that's the whole thing that I didn't understand, especially after the whole blow up where Kayla and Derek couldn't keep Paris's name out of their mouths.
Right.
Like, why would she want to keep either one of them?
I mean, it is a great strategy. We have seen that as a viewer. It's been some of the most exciting alliances that we've seen when enemies come together secretly to get people out.
It doesn't really work though.
No, it doesn't really work, but I'm thinking Paris, who is young and a fan of this show, but I'm sure she's watched a lot of past seasons, is probably like, what can I do now to be memorable? Or what can I do now to try and help? So I feel like maybe that was her attempt to...
She's trying to build her resume. That is not going to build her resume.
Correct.
Flipping to save Kayla is not going to build her resume.
No, it's going to get her out of the house.
Exactly.
Destiny says, are you kidding? Paris flips every 5 minutes. Well, like I said, I haven't watched the feeds in the past few hours today, but I certainly didn't see Paris flip all last week. I watched everybody try and convince her every reason why Johnny should stay, and Paris wanted no part of it. So
yeah,
I didn't really see a flippy Paris at all last week, and I haven't seen her flipping around. I mean, granted, yes, the start of the week she flipped from Johnny to save Kayla, and now she's flipped back the other way. But I wouldn't say that's every 5 minutes. It was kind of like she was going with a plan, found something out, and now she's sticking with the other plan.
Yeah, she is very stubborn.
Well, that's what what they say. Sweaty hands, stubborn personality. Paris thinks Canada gets a vote. AKA, that's why she talks to the camera. She knows what she's doing. She's calculating. Well, 100%. And I mean...
I don't know why she thinks that Canada's getting a vote.
Probably because they voted to save Ryan, so she might think that now they're... I mean, if she counted the jury votes, she would know.
Well, she said she doesn't think that there's a jury of 7. And she thinks Canada's getting a vote.
Wait a minute. This is a good point. Oh, Arissa did tell them that jury started last week.
Yeah.
So why would she not think it's a jury of 7?
She thinks Canada's getting a vote. But there wouldn't be an even number of votes.
She just thinks that Canada's lying? I mean, she thinks Arissa's lying? I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense. Paris, wake up! Paris, wake up. We don't know what you're doing, Paris. Will we get to evict a jury member and steal... Oh, that could be a good point. Destiny says, what if we get to evict a jury member and steal their vote? Oh,
that would be really harsh.
I would love it.
No.
Oh, I would love to do that.
No.
You wouldn't?
No. No. No.
Arissa told them Paris took math lessons from Bronte. Pretty much. So I don't know. I will say at this moment, it does seem like Kayla will be the one to go, leaving Derek, the last person behind, going into HOH on Thursday. That being said, none of these people seem to remember that
HOH on the triple doesn't play in the veto on the triple.
Now, do you like this rule or no?
No.
How hard would it be to let one more person play in veto? Why are we acting like it's so hard to set up a competition for more than
Because
6
it would
people?
it would be a completely well, honestly, I don't know why they couldn't do that because it's a
What?
triple.
Add
What?
one more
Right.
lane.
It's the triple eviction. They're adding another nominee and another person to the veto. This is
Right.
not that. This is not rocket science.
I don't know why they make it sound like this is so complicated to me. I mean, unless it's for strategic purposes, but then if it's for strategic purposes, then make them like put a reminder.
Well,
but I guess like when would you put that reminder? You'd have to say it before
unless the
HOH.
whole reason that they decided to do it like that is so that like their thought process is okay, the HOH on the triple already has a ton of power by being able to nominate three people. They don't want them to be able to also win the veto.
Yeah, that probably is it. It probably is they don't want them to have complete power. They need to throw randomness into the game. I'm sure that's what it is. Destiny says, honestly, I thought they did it last year just to keep Kevin safe. I wish I remembered the specifics about the way it worked last year. I mean, we know that it's, you know, who plays an HOH, the 2 nominees.
Because I know they didn't do a triple in BB Can.
The season before, correct.
In 3, was it the same week when there were 7 people left?
I believe so, yes. See, but I thought
if it's always when it's 7 people left, then why is there this much randomness of when is it going to happen?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Why is that it? But then again, now I'm confused again. Because there's 7 people in the house, right? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with Johnny. Okay.
8.
And no.
Wait, there's no.
Allie,
there's 8.
Derek, Paris, Olivia, 1, 2, Johnny, Maddie, 4. William, Kayla. Okay, 8. I can count.
There's 8. Yes, okay. And then 1 will go. That will leave 7.
Oh, that's where I'm getting the 7 from. Right. 1 will go. So now we have 7.
Mm-hmm.
The HOH nominates 2 people. So that's 3 people.
The HOH nominates 3 people for the triple.
Oh my God! The HOH nominates 3. Wait a minute. There's only 7 people left.
Yes.
So if the HOH nominates 7, right? You're with me?
Yep.
So we're taking the HOH away. Okay. He has to nominate 3. And the other 3 people play.
Correct.
I don't know why that was so hard.
I don't know why that was so hard either.
No, I know why it was so hard. I keep forgetting. I was like, I knew it was 3 people, but it wasn't registering to me that the third person wasn't the HOH. It wasn't registering to me that the third person was not the HOH. I'm like, why is this a problem at all if there's 3 people left over and 3 people playing? Brain fart. Good. There isn't 11 people in the house. Eric would have had to taken off his shoes, says Christine B. BB Can 3 triple was fun. Godfried surviving was epic. I mean, look, I think BB Can wants... I think they want an epic Kevin moment.
I want Johnny to win. I want Johnny to win the veto.
I want Johnny to win as well.
Unless he's not nominated. Actually, no. Even if he is nominated, I want him to win it.
If he needs to win it.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he needs to win it. He just has to win it.
He definitely has to win it.
But, yeah, because I do know that we have people who are watching Big Brother Canada for the first time ever.
Right.
Just so people are aware, with the triple eviction, 3 people are nominated. They play the veto. HOH doesn't play veto. Whoever wins, someone can come down. Someone's replaced. And then the 3 people who are not on the block vote to save 1 person.
Correct. You're not voting to evict. You're voting who
they're voting
you want to save.
Yep, they're voting to save. So
Voting to save.
the one person that is safe ends up being safe, and the other two people end up leaving.
And it's a
So
triple eviction because somebody went, well, it'll most likely be Kayla will have
mhm.
gone. Hopefully we send Derek right behind her.
Yep, Derek and who knows who else.
I hope we
But
don't have a Topaz moment. Well, to be fair, Marin's not in the house.
yeah, and
Derek,
Arissa's really good about saying you are voting to save. She says it like 10 times.
yes, and Derek is the only one at this point who's not a super fan. So he's the only one I could see messing it up, is what I'm saying. Derek is the only person who.
Derek's not the only person who's not a super fan.
Who else?
I'm pretty sure Will?
No, I think Will is a Big Brother fan. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think he is.
Meta isn't voting. Exactly. Exactly, Meta isn't voting. So before we wrap it up, and by the way, patrons, when this show ends, go to the patron group. I have a little special surprise patron live show for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's live. I'm going to go live in the patron group after this show. So you're not going to want to miss that. Yep. But Amy, what do you hope happens going into
the triple?
Yeah.
In my dream scenario, we'll have Kayla go bye-bye. And then the other two people walking out the door will be Derek and Will.
Derek and Will?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I didn't know this at all. What's your issue with Will?
I don't like him.
Why?
He's so whiny.
He does throw a temper tantrum.
He throws a temper tantrum, and I'm over him. He can go.
Is he in my trash draft? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I see Maximus Mom wants Kayla, Derek, and Liv. Oh my god.
No.
Not Liv.
Not Liv. Not Liv.
Don't take Liv. We need some humor left in that house. Especially, we need a little bit. No more than Johnny. Will and Johnny whine the same.
See, but at least Johnny actually plays. Will just whines and sleeps and smokes, and that's it.
I don't think Johnny is a whiner at all. I think he does it for game sometimes, but I haven't seen him like throw a Will temper tantrum at all.
Oh, no. No, he doesn't.
I don't think he's on the same level as Will at all. Will is the only one that's nice to look at left in the house. I do agree with you there, although today he's like, I'm getting fat.
And there's not that much time left, so whatever.
I mean, who do you hope wins the whole thing at this point?
I want Johnny to win.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I would love a Johnny win. I would love a Paris win.
I would also love a Liv win.
I would love a Liv win, but
I think it would be hard for her to win.
I think she has a really hard time making any case of why she, quote unquote, deserves to win. However, if she sits up there against someone like a Paris, that an entire jury is going to feel like it's Paris's fault because Paris lied and Paris wasn't loyal, they might award that win to Liv.
Yep.
My favorite thing on the feeds, which this actually broke my heart a little bit, Johnny goes, what are you going to do, Liv, with the money if you win it? And Liv is like, shopping. Going shopping. There's a whole bunch of stuff I want to buy. I want a laptop. I know I just got back from Mexico because every year, and by the way, this is not a joke, I'm not exaggerating this. She's like, every year we go to Mexico to buy new jewelry with my family. So it's like our yearly Mexico jewelry trip. So like, it's going to be fun to go to the Mexico jewelry trip. But then I thought like maybe we could go to Paris or blah, 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 blah. Okay. And I swear to God, that's literally what she's saying she's going to do with the money.
I need to be in Liv's family. That's what I need.
Seriously. Oh, Barbados. Rafe says Barbados. Sorry, Barbados, wherever. But next, Allie comes in. And now Liv is still sitting there. And Johnny goes, so what would you do, Liv, if you won the money? And she's like, well, my dad and my mom don't live together because my dad doesn't make enough money living in the, one part of Canada where they would be able to live together. So he has to work in this other part of Canada where he can get enough work, and he sends the money back to my mom. And I'd just like to be able to have my family be back together. So I would use the money to get my family together and live without missing a beat. Turns to Johnny and she goes, so my answer sucked. And I was just like, oh, I should not say my answer out loud. And then Liv and Allie was like, well, why? What's your answer? And then like Liv told her, and Allie's like, everybody is entitled. Like, if you win, you get to use the money for what you want to use money. And here's why that touched me with Allie personally. I feel like she wasn't using it as game. I feel like she was genuinely telling that story. And the fact that we've made it to 2.5 weeks into the show's over, and now is when she decided to share that story. I feel like people that are going to quote unquote use a story like that to win the game usually like to break it out real early and play that violin all season long.
Yes and no.
I mean, sure, you could say there's strategy between breaking it out in the end as well. Like, oh, I only trust you. That's why I'm telling you. She does feel her game's in danger. So she could have been waiting to pull that out until the game. It's true. You never know.
Yep.
It's a game of lies and deceit, Amy.
Yep.
Lies and deceit.
You never know.
I don't get the Liv hype. She's mean, not a great player, and not funny. I think she is unintentionally funny. I don't think Liv means to be funny.
Absolutely. It's completely unintentional.
I agree with you. I don't think she's mean. I don't think Liv means to be mean. I think she just doesn't get why what she says can be offensive at times. So that's why I find her funny. And I also just love that she can be in a game playing for money and literally telling people that hold her life in the game, my family goes on yearly Barbados trips to pick out the jewelry that they want, and blah 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 blah, and not even think that that's gonna matter.
Right.
It is amazing what matters to these people.
Or her, she'll talk about her spa days and how she misses going to the spa and getting her facials and just.
And even Maddie, by the way, Maddie is in that same boat. Maddie's like, I miss horseback riding and getting my laser treatments. And I'm like, oh my Lord. Well, we will see. We will see how all of this plays out as we continue. Of course, the show is going to be on tonight in 1 hour from now. I will be live tweeting at Reality Recaps. Amy, will you be live tweeting?
I may.
Amy may be live tweeting as well. Of course, we will be back on again live tomorrow night. And all week, we have your Housewives audio blogs coming out again. I had to wait because only 3 people put them up, Amy.
Oh.
It's like I can't do a show with only 3 blogs. And
No.
yes, I don't mean 3 blogs on just New York. I mean, I even went to Beverly Hills and other cities. No one's writing blogs.
They're just taking their time with them.
They're taking their time, which is why I think I need to look more into doing a challenge show now as well. But stay tuned. All those details and more this week. Of course, check out everything Big Brother Canada over at yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan. And if you're watching this show back, make sure you become a fan over at yourrealityrecaps.com/now so you are alerted every time we go live. Amy, where can the people find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter at DancingAmy, DANCINAMY.
Perfect. All you guys, I'll see you guys later. Patrons, go head over to the Patreon group. We'll see you over there. Bye for now, everybody. Bye.
Bye.